Find a power brick. You'll find a micro USB charging cable, and then you'll also have the battery. Now the battery itself is a 3000 milliamp hour battery. So we'll zoom in so you can see that clearly right there. So that pretty much is it. That's what we have in the box. I'm sure, as this is an early version of the G4, that it will include some type of instructional material. It may have a user guide of type or something else that you'll be able to look at. But simply put, you have your phone, you have your micro USB charging cable, your power brick, and then your battery. Now the next step is to actually insert the battery inside of the phone. And what we're going to do is highlight that there is a groove right here. You can see it right here in the corner. Make sure it comes up on camera. And all we're going to do is put our nail in here, and then we're going to peel upwards. Don't worry if you hear some snapping going on. It's actually just the case coming off the back. And once you remove it, it just comes off that easy. Now I'm going to take the battery itself, and I'm going to insert it into the phone, just like this, and then snap down. Now, the G4, unlike the Samsung Galaxy S6, LG kept the ability to be able to support a expandable micro SD. Now, I'm just going to zoom in here so you can see what's going on here. This slot where you would house your SIM card right here is also a slot for your SD, and I notice it shows you the order and how you're going to place it. So this is a combo slot, and we've seen this in a lot of the phones where it supports both the SIM and the expanded memory. Let's go ahead and put on the cover, and then we'll start up the phone. So now to put the cover back on the phone, all you do is align it like I have here, and you're going to press on the sides. Always start on the sides, and we're doing that. And you'll hear some snapping sounds as it's going back into place, and that's all it takes. So I'll just make sure that the edges are fine. It looks like everything is in place. So now the next step is to actually start up the phone. Starting up the phone is pretty straightforward. LG, there's no power buttons on the left or the right. With the LG, and if you come from a G3, you'll know that it's this button right here that you'll press. This is your volume rocker, but this is what you press to turn on the phone. So I'm just going to press that button until we actually see the phone power up. I felt it vibrate, and now you're getting the actual startup information. So you see obviously the LG logo, and you see the Android logo as well. So this is our initial startup, pretty standard with most phones. And what we'll typically do here is insert our or type in our Gmail account and go through the prompted menu to do the setup. Now it's going to take a couple seconds. Every phone, as it's doing the startup, will vary in how long it takes for the actual software to establish itself in order to set itself up. So now what you're seeing is the actual optimization taking place that you see. This phone has never been started, so this is kind of a little bit different than what I've seen before, but it could be due to the fact that this is an early edition. So now we have our Android operating system is finishing, and we should be seeing this boot up very shortly. Alright, so now we have the standard LG welcome screen. I'm in the US. Here's some options if you want to turn on some accessibility features. You can turn these on. I'm going to pretty much leave them as no, and then go on to the next screen. Here it's going to look for my Wi-Fi, so let me set up my Wi-Fi. Right, so now that I have my internet connection completed, now it's connecting. I've inputted all my Wi-Fi settings, and we'll let it go through the actual remaining process. I don't have a SIM card in this LG yet, so you'll notice that while I have the Wi-Fi signal, I have also a little message indicating that I don't have a SIM card in the device. We'll do that a little bit later. So now another feature that you have here is that this device does support tap and go. It's something that's very popular amongst the Android community, and this really gives you the ability to really copy information from one device to another. So what I could do is I could take my existing LG G3, tap it against my other phone, and all the information would be copied automatically. I'm going to skip this step for now, as I'm just going to go through the normal process just in case you don't have an LG G3. I'll do a video showing how this works a little bit later. I'm just going to skip it. So now what will happen is in a couple seconds it should ask me for my Google information, so I'll just go ahead and input that. So now that I've put in my my Gmail, I'm just going to go ahead and hit accept. It's going to just check my information. Now, if I've had any other phones configured under that specific Gmail and have chosen to have the backup, what will happen is it will come back and then just allow me to, it will just download all those apps. Now what it's asking is to set up some billing information. I'm just going to go ahead and do that later. This specific account doesn't have a credit card associated with it, so we'll just skip that. Let it go through its setup process. Now the next step here is adjusting the time, date and time. Due to the GPS, it automatically determined that I am in Chicago and all the other information is appropriate, so I'm going to hit next. I can set my screen lock if I want to do that. I'll do that a little bit later. We'll look at some screen locking features later. Here is all the Google services. I'm going to say go ahead, back it up. I opt in typically to everything. Terms and conditions, I'm just going to scroll down, and I agree to everything. So hit next. I agree to the terms of use. Hit next. And what we should see in a second is our startup. Very colorful, very vibrant. I hope it comes out well in the video. But just I'd say that this is a really good looking screen. Just looking at the colors that you see here, they really pop out. So what I wanted to show you is just the initial unboxing and setup of the LG G4. I'll have tips and tricks as